If you want something to smile about, just say cheeseburger at McDonald's.
In McDonald's land, the McDonald's.
That's fine.
Alright. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Basically Anything podcast. Today, I am with Rick and Toasted Wolf. Say hi, guys.
Hey. How you doing?
So this is our first time doing a podcast, and it's exciting.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, low key. But, so, the Basically Anything podcast, we couldn't think of what... We didn't really want to base our podcast over anything particular, and so Brandon came up with basically anything. So here we are.
Yeah.
Now we're here. So,
Yeah.
I guess we can start segueing into, like, who we are and what exactly we're doing. And why, like, who we are as far as, like, on YouTube and on all those other platforms and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know who wants to go first.
I don't care either way.
I don't care who goes first.
Go
Alright.
to him.
All right. Well,
Brandon, you're first.
all right. Cool. I guess I'm first.
Get the spotlight.
So
Everyone shine it on him.
I'm the prettiest girl at the ball.
Alright, that's gotta be an edit. You guys gotta add like a little princess with his face on it.
Nah.
Or his little logo.
Too much bullshit. Anyway, so what I started doing YouTube because I was paying $330 a year for these programs, and one of them was a video editing software. And one day I just figured out that I can record myself online, and I can just start recording. And I was like, oh well, this is like what YouTubers use for their like video games and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I might as well learn how to use these things. The reason that I'm paying $330 a year for this is because I'm going to college, and I need these programs for my degree, and I really was wasting a lot of money not figuring out how to use all of these things, because the Creative Cloud comes with like 30 something or something like that programs on it.
Yeah, a lot of programs.
And most
like
of the time you
20
only
something.
yeah, and most of the times you only use like 3 of them, maximum 4 at the most, and you're paying all this money for it. So you might as well like learn how to use the other
Right.
things if you have access to it. So I started with Premiere, and that was sort of my big my big thing that I wanted to tackle. Was I wanted to learn how to like edit videos and stuff like that. So kind of self-taught. I'm still learning stuff, and then I moved over into After Effects for a little bit, and that's been fun. But After Effects is like really
It's tedious.
yeah. It's like everything that like Premiere does that's annoying. After Effects does it like blows it up in proportions, like 100 times more than what Premiere does.
Yeah, you made my intro in After Effects, right?
Yeah, that was made in After Effects, and that was sort of like my first. No, it was like my second project that I worked in on After Effects that I was like trying to figure out, like just working off of tutorials online, just trying to figure out some things, and believe it, like After Effects is fucking amazing, but like I prefer Premiere when it comes to like video editing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically my whole shtick. I'm not really stuck on one thing on my channel. If you go to my channel, it's kind of like the fruitcake of YouTube channels, and really my whole perspective about YouTube is I fucking hate the way YouTube does most of its things. Like, as far from a creative standpoint, it is so limiting of what you can do on this thing.
Yeah.
So my sort of objective is trying to break the rules as much as I possibly can. Give the algorithm a heart attack and
Show as much blood as possible.
No, I'm not talking about like being like crazy weird. I mean like there are a few videos on my channel.
The demonetized program they have.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about like some of the videos that I have on my channel, which is questionable. But anyway,
No.
Yeah.
They are questionable though.
yeah. But I enjoy doing it. I have a lot of fun working on different projects. The most recent one that I worked on was the It's 420 thing, which was a lot of fun to do. Just going online and finding random clips of just nonsense and then just compiling them together into like this weird sort of ransom note kind of style video.
Yeah.
Like those are the type of things that I like doing. Is just like stupid nonsense weirdness.
Yeah. I guess I can go next.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So, it's been about a year since I really started making videos and decided like I really want to do this. When I first started making videos, I originally used Windows Movie Maker, but I used the trial version of it. And then I started using Adobe Premiere, and the jump from the trial version of Movie Maker to that was so overwhelming. I actually put off learning it for like a month after I gained access to it. But obviously I did learn it, and I really enjoyed using that software. Mainly on my channel, it's gaming stuff. I have kind of adopted the idea of shit posts from Brendan.
You're welcome.
So there was that. The reason I like doing YouTube is just because it's fun. It's a hobby. I'm not in it for like a number of subscribers or anything like that. Not for the view time. I do it because it's fun. If I get an audience, then whatever. I just enjoy making videos, and it's fun to see something you work hard on come out exactly the way you want it to, or exactly the way you pictured it. So that's one of the main reasons I do it. I really like interacting with the community and stuff like that. So currently I'm a junior in high school. Not much going on there other than I go to tech for graphic communications, so every day I'm working with like Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, that whole deal. I did that in freshman year. I took a graphic design class and decided I wanted to go further with it, so I signed up for tech and stuff like that.
Which tech, by the way, is a technical school for like when you're in high school.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different shops there where kids can get a nice, good start on their career and learn everything. Like there's law enforcement, culinary, healthcare, dental, auto collision, just learn like diesel, electrical, all that kind of stuff.
I went there when I was in high school, and it was. I can talk more about like I had a really like good experience in tech school at the one that I went to, but my God, the people there were just like I can go into a whole thing about that, but
but yeah, that's pretty much where I stand with YouTube. Is just I enjoy doing it, so I continue to make it work as best as possible, and that kind of stuff. So other than that, not much to it.
All right, so now we're into
well,
toxic.
I
Your
guess it's
turn,
me.
dude. Yeah.
I'm the smallest one out of all of you guys. I post sometimes. I'm working on it. I used to
Dude.
just edit on my Xbox on I don't know what it was called. It was,
The Upload Studio.
yeah, Upload Studio. That's what I used to
I
make
did
my
that
videos
for a
on.
long time.
I upload
I-
like once a month, dude. Like,
If that.
yeah.
I just got my Adobe Premiere I think 2 weeks ago. I've been
Not even.
using it, trying to get the feel for it. It's actually pretty fun. So
Yeah, it's great software once you learn how to use it.
what you'll see on my channel, of course, is really stupid moments of me and my friends.
Right.
You'll see me team killing a lot, just because that's probably one of my favorite things to do. You'll also see like me actually doing challenges in IRL too. So yeah.
All right, good
All
stuff. Somebody had asked us, who are your biggest inspirations for doing YouTube?
Ooh.
So,
hmm.
if anybody wants to start with that.
I think, as far as inspiration goes, I think it's a really long list. If I had to think of the top 3, it would have to be Dan Nerdcubed is probably number 1. Just because he has a relatively simple like sort of style to his videos. And he
Right.
he reviews like games and stuff in detail, and I always found that me and him sort of have the same kind of way that we feel about video games, where like it could be like a really bad game and like oh, it's a really bad game, but
Yeah.
if you have fun with it, it makes it worthwhile. It's kind of like The Room, like the movie The Room of video games kind of
Yeah.
thing, where you just like you play a bunch of games, not because of the story or anything like that, but you play them because they're fun.
Yeah.
And he has like these really cool like stylistic videos that come out like every now and again. One of them that I really loved was like, it was called like Nerd Cubed and Friends or something like that, and it was him in VR. It was like all the characters that he created were himself like resorting it back to a camera, but it was kind of like an interview style type deal where like every character was different in their own way. They spoke in a different way, and it was funny. It was like really fucking funny, and I highly recommend that video. Another one would be Donkey. Like, I think like Donkey, like around when he was doing like the Dark Souls like type stuff, like when he came out with the Dark Souls thing, that was like, this is fucking hilarious. Like, and after doing YouTube for a while, I sort of realized like, oh, that's how he does videos, and that's how he sort of does it, which is like he films all of this stuff ahead of time, and then he dubs it over with like his own stuff in like afterwards. So knowing that, like once I figured that out, I was like, I kind of like this more now, because
Right.
he puts a lot more thought into this than just any other YouTuber.
Yeah, you get to choose like what you want to say at like any moment, really. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like you also get to like flesh, like it's jokes, and it feels natural. Like it feels like, oh, he's reacting to this in real time. Once you sort of step that out and sort of like be like, oh, he's actually just, he recorded this and now he's reacting to it in hindsight, like post him playing it. He's
Right.
just dubbing it over, but he still does it in a way that it's entertaining. You think, oh, he's actually playing this. So it's
Right.
sort of an illusion. I really, even knowing that illusion, it sort of made his videos better for me, and sort of made me like sort of think like, oh, like, and also every single video that he comes out with, I watch. Like he came out with one earlier today, just making fun of the whole tier list that iDubbbz basically took from other YouTubers and then started this whole entire trend off of it, that a bunch of people started doing, and he was making fun of it. And I think that's funny that he can like take things like that and run with it in a joking kind of way, and sarcasm and satire and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last one that I would probably say is like another really good inspiration is sort of the mentality of Russian Badger.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah.
of like, I don't really do this as like, I don't really see this as a job. I see this as like something that is a hobby, and I enjoy doing in my free time, and I enjoy meeting people through it. So with that, like, I like Russian. I like Badger's stuff that he does nowadays. I wouldn't stop watching him for anything. Like, no one can get me to stop watching his videos. I do like when it was sort of just him. Like, I like those old school days of Badger when it
Yeah.
was like kind of like him talking about a game. I like everyone that he talks to. Like, I think all of them are funny. And I understand from a content creating point that it's easier to have a group of people that make funny things all the time than having
Yeah.
one person sit down and write it all the way around. But you really felt the effort when it came to his videos in the old school days. Not saying his videos nowadays are effortless. I'm saying
Right.
to do what he did back then was unheard of. So it's
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Also, just another one quickly because I just remembered it. There was a guy called Frankie on PC in 1080p that made
Oh my God.
some of the best videos I think ever.
Yes.
And he like stopped for a while. He said that there was like some like medical reason that he couldn't like keep doing videos and like some job influence stuff, but he still shows up through like Soviet Wombles videos, which is another one.
Yeah.
And I adore everything that he does. Literally every single video that he has ever done, which is like mostly DayZ stuff, I would say, is some of his
Yeah.
best work. But they're like 40 minutes long. But my God, they are like some of the best edited, like thought out joke stuff. I gush over it all the time, and I recommend it to anyone. But it sucks because it's like the anime that just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Doesn't upload anymore. So yeah, those are basically the handful of people that I look up to on YouTube.
Yeah. I guess for me, the top 3 that I look up to, I think number 1 has to be Mini Lad. And the reason I say that is because throughout his videos and watching him over the years, he's a genuinely good person. Like,
Yeah, he
last year, through one of his meme streams, or just another charity stream in general last year, he was able to go to Africa himself and help build a bunch of wells so people had clean water. He physically went there himself and did it.
He actually
So-
did another meme stream where he gained like I think $40,000 in
Yeah,
just like an
for the
hour
Thirst
to 2
Project
hours.
again.
Yeah, just for the Thirst Project. It was like I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so that he's really good at what he does, and it overall he's just a good content creator. Another one I have to say is Smitty, and the reason I say him is because he does a lot of solo commentary videos. He doesn't always do multiplayer stuff, and during his solo commentary videos, it doesn't feel like an actual video. It feels like you're sitting there having a conversation with him. It feels like you're actually getting one-on-one time with the guy, and you get to learn more about him and who he is and stuff like that. So that's really cool to connect with a creator on another level.
Right.
I'm not completely sure about a third one, because there's a lot of YouTubers I watch genuinely just for the humor, like Tuxbird or other YouTubers like that, like you said, Badger. Strictly just for the entertainment purposes, no real reason like to connect with them. But it just for humor wise, I'm not completely sure where I would put a third one. But maybe old school Markiplier.
Yeah.
Like before, like the Five Nights at Freddy's like bullshit.
Yeah.
That was like just kind of swarmed his channel. Even like the Five Nights at Freddy's like
That
series that he
series,
started
yeah.
out with was like okay, and then like
Yeah.
like when
After
the
that,
meme was
everything
happening.
just- Yeah, it
He went a
all
little
just
overkill
blew up
with it.
after the meme.
Yeah.
But so I have to say, old school Markiplier would be my third.
Right.
So, Wolf, what about you?
I'd have to definitely say my number 1 was. Do you guys know Wasabi Productions?
No.
No.
Oh, it's used to be these 2 YouTubers, Alex Wasabi and Roy Wasabi. They just posted stupid ass funny videos every other Wednesday. Now it's just Alex Wasabi, and I put him at number 1 for inspiration, just because he's always saying spread positivity, do what you want in life, right?
Mhm.
He's just a really genuine positive guy. He gives a lot to his family and friends and fans even. Like he bought his parents like a mansion.
All right then.
Number
Everyone
2,
wants to do that.
Number 2, I'm gonna definitely say Net Nobody, aka Scott Does Minecraft, or Scott Did Minecraft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of that comedy in me. Like, I used to watch him after school every day.
Yeah.
With, like, the Team Crafted and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they were
So-
definitely funny.
Yeah, so who's your third then?
My thirds, I'm gonna have to put Smosh in there. With
Old school
Really?
Smosh?
yeah, old school Smosh with Anthony.
Okay,
Old school
yeah,
Smosh.
yeah.
Not the newer Smosh. The newer Smosh.
The
still like-
pre
I still like
Anthony
the new-
leaving.
Yeah, I still
Well,
like newer Smosh,
well,
but it's not as good as
Anthony-
it was like before Anthony left. Like
Well,
when
the-
Anthony was still a part of it, it was great.
Well, the main reason Anthony left was because of Defy
Oh yeah,
and
Defy
them.
Media.
Yeah,
not-
them fucking up and fucking over all of their employees and their whole company.
Yeah.
That's the reason he left. They're all still good friends. Anthony is still great friends with all of them.
Yeah.
But it was Defy Media that caused him to finally decide, nope, I'm done, and he had to keep quiet about it until Defy closed down.
Yeah.
So,
I think I don't know about it, but he can join back if he wants to. Just because
Yeah,
Rhett and Link
but,
own them now.
but the thing is, he's already gone off on his own way and started his own channel.
Yeah, I
and
don't
it
think
would
he's
be, It would be
going to,
kind of
but-
weird for him to abandon everything he's brought up on by himself, practically, after he left Smosh,
Yeah.
given his reputation. But, still.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Those are definitely my top three. So
Yeah.
Wasabi, Net Nobody, and Smosh. Old school
Okay.
Smash.
Yeah. Somebody asks, how did we all meet? Brendan, you and I met through Colin.
Yeah,
believe.
who's a buddy of mine. To like really trace it back, I met Colin in like middle school. Like that was like he was this. Well, I met someone else. I met Ron, who
Mhm.
introduced me to Colin, and that's
Yeah.
like we were kind of friends in middle school, and then I don't really know how Ron, or I don't really know how they met you. I think it was through someone else.
They met Tyler.
Right, and that's how we met. Was through
Yeah.
a series of a bunch of other people. We met each other, and then I think it wasn't until like about a year and a half ago, that I found out that you were doing YouTube,
Yeah.
and that we were both like sort of doing YouTube at the same time, and
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you want to go do Doki Doki, which was like. Really,
That kind of set us on a path
Yeah.
for both of our channels.
yeah, really, I just wanted to I wanted to play through the game and I wanted to do something with it on my channel. I just didn't know how to do it, and then I was like, hey, there's another person who's like, on YouTube, and I know them, and
Yeah.
I know where you live, and so I was like, we could come together and like do something cool, and it wouldn't just me be talking over weird anime weirdness.
Right, and it was the fact that I hadn't seen anything on the game, so all of my reactions in my Doki series are legitimate, raw. Like, I had no idea any of that shit was really happening.
Right. Yeah.
So that made it even better. Then you guys met through me, which, Wolf, where the hell did we meet up?
We met Tuxbird's Igloo, which is his Discord
Okay.
server, and we both figured out we both have YouTube channels, and so I think you
Right.
you DM'd me and invited me to your server, and then I invited you to my server, and then
Yeah,
we've just
well,
been
you helped.
talking
You
and going
had
through.
me. You had me and Ham help create your server and help bring it together. Because you
Yes.
were still somewhat new to Discord at the time, and you wanted help setting up your own server after seeing mine, so we helped set that up.
Yeah. I think it was also Spartan. Spartan also helped a lot with that too.
Yeah, she did. So a trailer just dropped today.
Oh boy.
That Spider-Man
We're
one.
yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Spider-Man trailer. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Spider-Man, noticeably
1
less
second.
Iron Man.
Just letting you know,
Noticeably
everybody at home.
less.
I mean, there's a little bit of a spoiler in this for Endgame, so if you
I
haven't watched
just said
click
it.
off.
Yeah.
He just said it.
I just
Oh.
said it. Like we've
Wow.
already here's the thing. They already said, like, literally the directors of the movie said on, like, Twitter, and they said, you know,
Yeah, they said
Monday,
it at the beginning of the video too. Yeah.
yeah,
But then
come
again,
Monday,
yeah, Monday, the
yeah,
ban lifts.
everything, yeah,
So
Yeah,
never mind.
so-
Screw the spoiling. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of the trailer really hit you when you're seeing all the Iron Man symbols everywhere.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
see Peter just like, really sad. Looks like he's been
Yeah,
crying
him
for a
and
few
Happy
days.
just really depressed and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm interested about the fact of bringing Zendaya into the movie.
Well, they had her in
They had her in Homecoming.
yeah, she just wasn't like a dominant character in
Yeah.
Homecoming. She was just kind of
No.
like a side character that you find out later was MJ.
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
guess what they wanted to do was they wanted to peddle like the relationship between whoever the previous girl was and Peter,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to like be. And if they showed off that this was MJ to begin with, then it would have been like, oh, well, that's the person he's gonna end up with regardless. So
Right.
this like you kind of know this at the beginning of the movie. So at the end of
Yeah.
it, it's kind of like, oh, that's who MJ. That's who she is. Okay, all right, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
What was
So,
your like? What are your perspectives about Homecoming in relation to this movie? Because I have my own opinions about Homecoming.
I liked Homecoming actually. It was
Yeah, I
it was
enjoyed
a
it.
really good movie. But then again, I love all Marvel movies, so
Right.
yeah.
I'd
So-
say it. I liked what they did with the whole not showing how Spider-Man got his origin thing.
Yeah.
And they
We've
kinda
seen
just-
that like 2 or 3 times already. That's
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah, we saw the
Yeah,
Tobey
well,
Maguire one and the
Yep.
Andrew Garfield one, and I'm really glad that they skipped it and they just kind
Yeah.
of one line in the movie explained basically everything, and it was all stuff that you already knew. So,
Yeah. It was great.
yeah. So I did like how they put in Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man sort of in this movie. Now going back and
Yeah.
looking at it, like originally I had my bad perspective of this movie was there was too much Iron Man in it. When you go back and you watch it again, it's like he's not in it that much.
Right.
And based on what you know after Endgame, like just going back and watching this movie is like, oh, they were really trying to like line this up as like, this is the person who's going to be taking the reins of like who's going to be leading the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future.
Right.
Yeah, I think Peter ends up owning Stark Industries after.
Really, I didn't know that. I was just sort of
I
assuming.
wasn't sure about that one.
I don't think he's gonna own Stark Industries because I think Pepper will.
Oh yeah,
He'll have a part in it for sure,
But
probably.
he's definitely gonna have a huge part in it because Peter basically was acting. He wasn't like literally Tony's son, but I feel like he was kind of like him.
Yeah.
Like he was treated like his son.
yeah, and it was sort of like a mentoring type situation where Tony has like all this money, and then like he builds these suits for him, so this way he has the technology to do the things doing the things that Spider-Man can do, and going back and looking at it again, I'm like sort of like, okay, yeah, I understand this because there's not going to be any Iron Man in this one, so
Took some
it's
pictures.
yeah, so.
Do you think that possibly they might make a little flashback scene? Possibly, maybe one we didn't see or anything.
I
That way
think
we get a little bit more of Iron Man, just a little bit.
here's my thing. They paid Robert Downey Jr. $15 million for 3 days of work for Homecoming.
What?
Yes. Well, actually, no, $15 million a day. So adding up to $45
God.
million of the budget that they had for this movie was designated specifically to Robert Downey Jr. to be in
My
the movie for
God.
3 days. And if you go back and you watch like all of the scenes with Iron Man in Homecoming, it amounts to about like 8 to 10 minutes. That's it.
Right.
So, like, my perspective is Robert Downey Jr. is getting too expensive to pay, which is why I think he was one of the first people to go.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think we will get cameos of him if, studios are willing to put out this kind of money. in the future, possibly, maybe, I don't know, but I think their big picture is we can't continue to keep paying him money for little to scenes, like sort of cameo style things in these movies. So
Right.
I don't think we'll be seeing Iron Man in this movie. If we do, I will be very surprised.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't show up throughout the entire movie. If they just sort of cameo him as like a drawing on a wall, possibly, as the murals of Iron Man on the walls and stuff like that.
Right. Magazines like in the first movie.
Right, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did like something like that, where they show like news footage of Tony that's like from a previous Marvel movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But as a character,
Newspapers and stuff, yeah.
as a character in like a flashback sequence, I can see it happening, like in like a comic book version of the movie. But I think they pretty much separated from Robert Downey Jr. whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not Tony Stark,
makes
but Robert
sense.
Downey Jr.
Yeah, because Robert does have 3 kids, so between that and his acting career and all this other stuff he may or may not have going on, because he does have other movies he's been in while working with the MCU.
Yeah.
So he'll probably show up in a bunch of other movies, but whether or not it's in the MCU, that's completely 100%. Like,
He's
No, he's
Also-
not going to be any more MCU movies, unless it's like, a little tiny cameo for it.
right, which, again, very low chance of that happening.
Yeah, but I'm still looking forward to this movie. I don't really know much about Mysterio. I know
Yeah.
a lot about Spider-Man. But Mysterio was like one of those things that I was just like, whatever. What I know
Right.
about Mysterio is that there was a Spider-Man video game called Spider-Man Friend or Foe, and he was the
Yes.
main bad guy.
I loved that game so much. I can't tell you how many times I replayed that game. I miss that damn game.
Yeah,
dude.
like that's really my whole perspective of and that's how I figured out about Mysterio, and I was like, this is a guy like you have all
Yeah,
of
I
the
didn't
other
know
bad
he
guys.
existed before playing that game. Like,
Yeah, and you have all the other bad guys in the MCU or not the MCU, in the Spider-Man universe in that video
Rhino,
game, and
Goblin, yeah.
and you just have this character. What was the one guy with the Komodo dragon? Like I'm trying to remember. Like I'm gonna be.
I don't remember his name off the top of
I'm
my head. Let me
literally
see
gonna
real
look
quick.
it up, but Spider-Man villain, Komodo dragon. I just keep getting things for lizards. Like he was a hunter. That's what I know about him. Like Hunter. What's his name? Hunter? I don't know. Hold on. Wait. I see a picture of him. This is literally the action figure I had as a kid. Craven the Hunter.
I don't believe he was in Friend or Foe.
I don't think so either, but that was one of I just remember the look of him in the he had a whip and he had he was from the Amazon or something like that, and I knew about this guy, Craven
Yeah.
the Hunter from Spider-Man, before I knew about Mysterio. So it's like
Yeah.
I was like, all right, don't and when I saw that they did Mysterio in Friend or Foe, I was like, is this is actually a character? Did they just make this up? It's like, no, he's more embedded than Craven is.
Yeah. But
But-
we'll have to see what happens with this Spider-Man. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. We'll probably end up doing an episode on that and maybe an R2 review on my channel again for that.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so Brendan, you brought up earlier how there was a thing in the Game of Thrones episode. Wanna
Oh.
talk about that a little bit.
Well, really, it's just as an avid fan of Game of Thrones, as someone who, and we're not going to be discussing spoilers, don't worry about it. As an avid fan of Game of Thrones, I have watched every single episode since binge watching it during its 4th season. So about 5-ish years now, I would say, that I've been watching this series. This new season is ass. It is just nothing is happening. There's some stuff happening, but the stuff that happens isn't really important. But one of the things, like, HBO has some of the best shows out there, as far as I'm aware. I have not watched anything other than Game of Thrones, but my buddy Peter has told me about Westworld, which is apparently really fucking good. Last Week Tonight, which is another one of those like big budget like shows that they give like a bunch of money so this way they can do weird shit with it. But like Game of Thrones is their flagship product. Game of Thrones
100%.
is like their main thing that they put out. Like this is what sells their subscription to people.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
And the reason they have the subscription is so this way you don't have ads and stuff like that, so you don't, see advertising from all these different corporations and stuff like that, and you can just watch the show.
Yeah.
So one of the things that pisses me off with this upcoming or this most recent episode was at one of the scenes they're at a table and like and they're just kind of all gathered around, and one of the characters has a Starbucks coffee cup on the table right next to them. Like within eye shot, like you can see this thing. How did like first of all, how did this get by editing? How did nobody realize that's someone's cup? Like like someone after the scene was done had to go onto the set and pick this thing up and take it off the set or whatnot. And also keep in mind, Game of Thrones is set in medieval era like stuff,
Right.
horses and knights and dragons and that kind of stuff. Not a fucking Starbucks for miles, and it's kind of cheap too because it's like a cheap marketing strategy of like Starbucks. Like, I don't want to see their bullshit in my medieval time show. Like,
Right. Like
Not-
I
not a
personally
Starbucks
don't
for
watch.
years from now.
but they're
I
like
don't
handing
watch
it.
Game of Thrones. I've heard it's a great show, and I've
Oh,
been
it
wanting
is.
to get into it.
Yeah,
So-
I think I watched that one episode. I don't know what the dragon lady, when she like, I heard it was like when she like rebirthed the dragons or stuff,
Right.
and then she came out of the fire all naked and stuff. That's the only episode I ever watched.
Yeah, so like I know a lot about this show. Like I've invested a lot of time into it. I'm gonna continue to keep watching it. Like don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
it till it's
100%.
over. And this is the last season of the show. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's and that's another thing that pisses me off too is and I was discussing this with my mom, which my mom is someone I shouldn't watch these shows with because of the amount of like just
Nudity and shit.
not
isn't
just
it?
nudity, but just beheadings and just gore and nonsense. My mom really doesn't like that stuff, but she sets it aside for Game of Thrones because she likes Game of Thrones.
The story is enticing.
Yeah, she's the one who actually got me into it, and she was like, "You should watch this. You like good TV shows. This is a good TV show." So I started watching it, and I did like it. I highly recommend that if you're gonna get into it, start from the beginning. Don't just jump
Yeah.
into it at any point because it quite literally even
like The
jumping
Walking
into
Dead.
these, even jumping in, like if you say, all right, I'm gonna skip the first episode, you will not know what's happening at all.
Right.
It will be the most confusing thing ever. Even jumping into the first episode, it's still confusing because there's so many characters that you have to keep track of. But over time, you sort of realize who these people are, and you're like, okay, I like this person. I really don't like this person. This guy can fucking die in a hole. This one is pretty good. If this guy dies, I'll you'd be bummed. And pretty much every single person on this list has been a character. Like every single person that I've referenced to in that whole spiel has been a character in the show and has died. So the person you really like dies. The person that you really hate probably dies. And
Is there anyone that doesn't die?
currently all the people that are still in the show, but there's 2 episodes left, so that can go anywhere.
Isn't there a
Right,
midget
but-
guy that like? I mean,
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. No, but there's also that like paralyzed kid that has like a
Oh,
that has like
God.
a full haircut.
I hate him so much. Okay, this might be a spoiler. I'm not sure. If you want to
throw it
skip
out,
this,
doesn't
go.
matter.
Yeah, he's
can
one of the
edit
most
this part out.
he is one of the most useless characters in the entire show. The only thing that he has done as he's gotten other people killed for him, and for what? Like he has like in the show he ventures up into the far like Arctic North, talks to a tree man, like obtains his powers from said tree man, and then gets the tree man killed. Gets like his right hand man who's been by his side since like the beginning of time killed. Gets the woman who literally had her brother killed for this kid. She dies. And like he just ventures down south, and now he's like this all-seeing wizard. Like he like I can venture into the past. I can see the future. I can see everything. Okay, then why aren't you helping us? Why aren't you telling us how this battle is going to turn out? Why can't you tell us how to like do this battle properly? And my God, it is like he's basically Professor X, but so much more like annoying and useless. He like and he. Another thing that I hate about him, he talks in a monotone accent the entire fucking time.
That's annoying.
And it's just like, all right, ask me something. Say, Bran, like, what about this? What can you tell us about this battle? And he would just respond with, I cannot tell you how this battle is going to go, for it would alter the ways of the future. It's like,
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, please. Not just Doctor Strange. Like, Doctor Strange, you know, has some, like, spunk behind him. This is, like Dr. Manhattan almost, like, but Dr. Manhattan had a point in being monotone. He literally could live forever. Right. So he was like, I don't really care about any of you because all of you are going to die anyway. So, like, I don't know. Like, the show has taken an absolute nosedive. And it's just like they have 2 episodes left of this entire series to answer some of the biggest questions people still have, and I don't think they're gonna do it, and that pisses me off because it's just like you follow it throughout the entire time, and then it's just like, yeah, this just happens, and you know this, you know, whatever, this character dies, I don't care. Like, it's like I really hope that they just the Kickstarter behind let's just redo season 8 entirely and just wipe it off the face of the earth, like it doesn't actually happen. Redo the entire season just to answer these questions correctly and do it the right way. But it's not gonna happen. Like that's right. It's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
So,
somebody else is asking, what is your favorite recording and or memory you have on YouTube or Twitch or any platform so far? I can answer this one real fast.
Ooh. All right.
My favorite moment so far on YouTube was when we played Scriblio and Brendan got the word divorce.
Really? That's your favorite moment?
It's one of my favorites, and the reason being is because it caught everybody off guard, and out of all of my recording sessions, that has to be the #1 moment that got everybody fucking dying laughing. Another good memory is obviously the whole Doki series, because that was the first real Let's Play I had on my channel. So that was a nice thing to get me started in doing Let's Plays. So I just started a Mortal Kombat 11 one, so we'll see how that goes. But that's one of my favorite moments. I don't really have any particular favorite moment right off the bat that I can think of off the top of my head that like really completely fully sticks out as my favorite moment. Probably that, or the when Discord gets weird with you and the Deadpool mask and the grenade thing.
I'm like honored to be in most of these moments.
Yeah, you and me.
I'm weird.
You and me are going on this journey together from the beginning, and now Logan's involved with it too. So
yeah,
that it's really cool to bring more people in and get this group together that we can kind of like start off of, and just start.
Yeah.
I think I was supposed to be in one of the Scribbly videos, but I was like 5 minutes late, so like I didn't make it.
Yeah, a little bit. But Wolf, do you have any moments? Do you have any moments you're proud of, Wolf, or that are your favorites?
I haven't recorded for like 2 months. I
Right.
haven't
Well,
posted
that doesn't
since
matter.
months.
But do you have
But
any
yeah,
specific
I have a lot of
moment?
favorite moments with you guys. Definitely a lot of the Scriblio moments, and then just like the stupid things we just say when we're just talking in Discord.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
so many retarded things we just say in there.
I think that's why people enjoy my Discord videos. Brendan, I'm curious as to what your answer is going to be as your favorite moment.
My favorite moment is actually in a video I haven't uploaded yet.
Oh God.
It's of my buddy Peter. And I'll describe the situation to you. Like I'll describe the clip to you. So we were playing Civilization 6. Yeah, it's 6.
Oh, you had me watch this.
Yeah. I showed Robbie this clip. Basically what happened, there's a lot of rules that go into Civilization 6. To the outside person, I don't know if normal people who've never played the game would understand it, but I can sort of describe it well enough so people understand. In the game, you have cities, and one of the things you can do with these cities is you can trade them to people. So what Peter did was, we were playing a game where it was the map of the United States, and he was basically stuck in Florida, which is one of the worst places that you can spawn, because at the beginning of the game, you don't have ships to move around, and there's only one way off of Florida, and that's just to go north.
Yeah.
And MJ had literally just colonized all of everything from Maine all the way down to South Carolina, and everything over to as far as the Midwest. He just had this whole area just colonized. There was nowhere for Peter to go to, because he was also surrounded by city-states, which are basically just AIs in the game.
Yeah.
That aren't trying to play the game to win. They're just there to block your path. So there was one city-state that had spread out in Louisiana. And so he was basically stuck with Georgia and then the back part of South Carolina and all of Florida. Meanwhile, MJ owns basically an entire continent to himself, and I have all of California and the upper west area. So Peter was struggling from the start of this game to do anything. He couldn't get his economy up to a good level. He couldn't advance fast enough in the technology tree to allow himself to gain more technology to make his life easier. So what he did was he made me a joke proposal, quote unquote, where he gave me all of his cities, all of his resources that he had under his belt, everything, for 3 gold. And he was like, Brendan, I sent you my master plan. And I was like, all right, what is this? And I'm looking at this deal, and I'm like, wait a minute. I can just accept this. I don't have to, negotiate a deal. There's not, a two-party system where, once you send this request, all the person has to do is say, accept, and it's done.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, his dad walks in, and he's, explaining the game to him and explaining how he's winning, how he's this is what you have to do, this is how you move troops and do all these types of things. And I'm like, MJ, Peter, I'm so confused by your whole situation here. I don't understand how you're how this is your big master plan. And he's not paying attention to me, he's not listening, at least I don't think he is. He's still talking to his dad. And then MJ's just just do it, just accept the deal. And I'm like, okay. And in a second, he literally goes, wait, no! And it loses all of his cities, all of his resources, all of his men in one fatal blow. And he's sitting there with his dad in the background did you do something wrong? What'd you do? Did something you were acting all cocky a few seconds ago, what happened? And then he explains the situation to his dad. He's like, I gave my friend a joke proposal where I give him all of my cities for next to nothing. And he was like, and his dad literally says over the mic, you're an idiot, why would you do that? And he's just like, well, I didn't think he would take it. And he was like, why wouldn't he take it? There's literally no reason for him to not take it. My favorite thing too is he wanted to give me give him 3 gold outright. But there's an option in the game to give you gold over time. So for like 15 turns, he was giving me like 75 gold.
Oh.
So the next turn, it immediately replenished itself in its bank, and I immediately got that money back like 100 times over. It was great. And so I don't have what happened in the rest of that game, but he was just like, Brendan, okay, here's the new plan. Because apparently that wasn't his plan to begin with. You just, use these cities and, you upgrade them to see how you see fit, and I'm just going to cry in the corner while you do that. I eventually did give him back his cities, and I did fix them to the point, because I saw it as like a project, as like I wasn't really doing anything in that game anyway, so I was like, might as well help Peter. But Peter like immediately tanked the economy, after giving it back to him, because they were like, you're the usurper that, sold us off to the, the tyrant king, and then now we kind of like the tyrant king, so his cultural rating went down. It was a whole deal. It was fucking hilarious. That's one of the best moments, and I have it in a video that's like sitting on a timeline in Premiere that I'm meaning to put out. One of the best moments I have on my channel is just that. Also,
great.
like, I don't know why it did so well as it did, but the she left you at prom thing, not specifically. Yeah, I just, it has like almost like 3,000 or 4,000 views or something like that, and I'm curious as to why. I get the meme. I get the meme, yeah, but like, I put a little bit of editing effort style into it for like one little gag, and suddenly like people are like, oh my god, the mystical door, and it's like one of those things that I'm looking at, it's just like, guys, it's a door.
That's why I really wanted to see you finish off that series, because you had told me the plan for that.
Yeah, I'm debating whether or not to do it or not.
Because no, Wolf, you have to understand, throughout, Brendan for a little while did a series on his channel where he had like Africa by Toto, and
but it's in but it's like you're in a car, like listening to it in the rain, or like you're on the front porch
at a campfire, shit like that.
Yeah.
And pretty much the whole deal was this guy got involved with this chick. There was a relationship, but then she broke up with him. And then Brendan's plan was to make it sound like there was going to be a school shooting in the background.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, like, I could continue to keep going down that route, but, like, I remember the most recent one I uploaded was, like, you're at a wedding or something like that, and then she had second thoughts.
I was so excited when I saw that pop up in my notifications. I was like, he did another one.
Yeah, I just, I really enjoyed making those. I want to continue to keep doing that. I want to continue the series with them. I just have to figure out where it's going to go. Like, I don't want it to be, like, overly offensive, but the thing is, there's a video that exists online that is literally you're hiding in a bathroom during a school shooting, and there's crying, there's shooting, there's screaming, and Pumped Up Kicks is playing in the background. And I'm like, if someone can get away with this, I can probably get away with what I want to do.
Right.
But the way I want to do it, like, I'm like, it's not a mystery, it's not like a secret of what I want to do, it's how I want to do it. Like, that's the big thing of, like, how am I going to make this different than everyone else who has already done this? And I have a very good idea of what I want to do, but you're going to have to wait to see what I do with that on my channel.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll get around to doing it. I don't know when, though.
Yeah. We've been talking for almost an hour now.
Almost an hour.
And
you want to just save the questions for another podcast?
There's one thing I do want to go off of and like leave this episode off with.
Yeah, Sam, I want to say something too.
All right, you can go first.
There's only 3 of us at the moment. We do have a 4th guy.
Yeah.
He
we're
just
still
couldn't
trying
get
to
his computer working, and his
he
wasn't
we're
able to
running in
record or anything at the moment. So
we're running into some technical difficulties with that. He's still got to figure out exactly what he's doing, how his schedule's gonna work.
Yeah,
But
he should. If it works out, he should be able to be a part of the next episode.
Yeah, which should be within a week from now. We want to get a weekly schedule going for this, hopefully. So we'll see about that. The last question I want to leave off with is, what's it like having a following? Fair it be small to most other content creators, and how has it changed you as a person? Brendan, I'm intrigued to hear your answer with this because, like you just said, people are watching what you're trying to do with that series, and it kind of made you have second thoughts on it. So I want to know what your thoughts on having a following.
One of the big things of why I like stopped doing edgy weird videos of like, you know, there's a whole subsection of my channel that is unlisted, that is relatively dark humor, is because a buddy of mine showed someone my videos and then invited me over to his house and then didn't tell me that he, what he did, like literally that afternoon. He was like, hey, you should come over like and talk to this person. I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there talking to this person and they think I'm a fucking psychopath. And they think, oh man, this guy likes shooting like, you know, animals or anything like that. Like this guy, like, you know, like he gets off to the idea of people dying. Like, no, I just
That's not the case.
I'm just like, I have this dark sort of sense of humor when it comes to the internet because I see it as the Wild West still,
Right.
despite it, you know, like being tamed in some aspects,
The
like
YouTube
what YouTube's
algorithm
doing.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
crazy.
like the I like my mind is have fun, do whatever you want, and if it like I want to like the whole point is to invoke a sense of shock and like amusement while also having this sort of like dark underlying tone. I want to get a crowd of people that find dark humor funny. I don't think I have a following of people who like just follow these types of videos, except for like a small handful group of people that I know personally who share it to other people who think that they like, you know, who think they would like it as well.
Like me, Colin, Ron, my dad, that whole group
yeah.
there.
But like, it's like,
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. It's difficult with your sense of humor and the videos you put out of like, how many people will actually watch this, enjoy it, share it, and not report the shit out of me for it?
Yeah, and yeah, it's exactly that, where it's like, I am so worried about what I can put out now because I don't know who's out there, I don't know what they're gonna do to me, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but if, you know, I might as well have fun, like, I should just have fun with it until, like, you know, it all comes to an end.
Right, because you're sitting at 127 subs right now, so
Yeah.
it's not that big of an audience. But I've noticed that on your channel, your views are a lot bigger than what your subs are.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Unfortunately,
yeah, and I'm also like really confused about what to actually put on my channel because
not sure if it's gaming or
yeah, like.
That's
The number
Hell
one
series you did at one point. We just got a bunch of mail from someone.
Yeah, I got a mail from a bunch of people, like a group of people, and I just opened them and like I unboxed like used condoms and weird books and
Dead rat candles.
My fucking loaf of bread that had a bunch of push pins in it covered in mayonnaise.
Weird stuff.
And
is this video still up?
oh yeah, and
I gotta
rocket
watch that
fuel.
after this.
I got fucking rocket fuel and
you got a stop sign and you threw it in the woods.
stop sign. Yeah, I still have that stop sign though. I still have it. So I'm confused about what to do. Currently, the most viewed video on my channel is a Fallout video, which is just like making fun of Fallout 76 for 45 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. You took the trailer and
Yeah. And I don't know if I want to keep like I want to try and do something like that, but it's really situational.
right.
It's like you have to wait until memes show up that you can do something like this.
Yeah.
And it's not like every day that fucking happens. Like you have to be on the ball about this. I happened to just make that video predicting what things were going to happen ahead of time and knew that like Fallout 76 was going to be a broken like clusterfuck of a game and kind of like adapted it to like sort of, you know, gamer culture-esque type thing where it's like people screaming at each other over the mic over what gun to use, like calling each other idiots and faggots and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what I picture that happening. And when you make a trailer that is all like, you know, people coordinating together and having fun, and, you know, gamer culture, these are people who are supposed to be like other people playing the video game, and these are their avatars. It's like, no, that's not the case. We all know that's not gonna fucking happen.
It's like Rainbow Six Siege or Fortnite. Fortnite's even like Rainbow Six Siege. I think used to be like the most toxic community, and then Fortnite overtook that shit.
Yeah. That one we'll talk about later. But
Yeah.
Wolf, what you have a small following and you don't post often like you said, but what is it like having a small following?
It's not really a big difference. I'm still gonna like act the same. I can't talk. I'm still gonna act the same as I always have.
Always have, yeah.
So
No
like,
reason to
it's
hide
never
yourself,
gonna change for
really,
me.
unless you're, you know, doing the stuff Brendan.
I mean, I might change a little bit. Like now, since I've actually started using Adobe Premiere, my editing will. I'll try to make it.
Yeah,
better
it'll
than what it's
drastically
been, but-
improve.
You could probably go online and just look at a bunch of like tutorials and stuff.
That's
like
what
that.
I did. I looked up a lot of tutorials for Premiere, so don't be afraid to use those whenever.
No.
Also,
I ain't no
it's-
pussy.
No, well, here's the thing. Like, I looked up tutorials, but I did it while I was editing videos. Like, because
Yeah,
I would
same.
have an idea. I would have an idea of what I want to do, and then it'd be like, hey, is there like a tool in Adobe Premiere? And I'd look it up on Google or something like that. Is there like a tool, or is there like some sort of method of doing it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That's how I
that
learned
that would
tracking.
be yeah.
I'm not saying I'm gonna look up everything, but I've looked up a thing. I looked up because I just wanted to know what it was like, or what I'd have to do just in case like someone said something like super bad, so that I could
Yeah.
bleep it. So that's the one thing I've ever looked up, and that's the only
Yeah,
thing I've ever
and-
looked up so far. And so now I know how to like bleep things.
Yeah,
Right,
it's not that hard to do. Just don't be afraid to look up tutorials, because Brendan and I both have looked up plenty while we're
No.
editing of like.
I'm pretty
have
sure
an
most
idea, so.
YouTubers, even big YouTubers, like learned how to do their stuff online.
Yeah, 100%. But for me, we all have a small following at the moment, and it's nice not just having a following, but interacting with people that enjoy what you're making and stuff like that. That's what's fun for me. And the unfortunate part is I'm always constantly asking for feedback on videos and stuff like that, what to fix and what not to fix, and, you know, stuff like that, what I could do to improve my videos. And it just kind of sucks when you don't get any feedback at all, or if people aren't saying much. So that's my only thing there. But having a following overall is just kind of nice, you know, because you're editing and, you know, you're working hard on something, and once you're finally happy with it, you just kind of want to be like, hey, I made this, I'm putting this out there, let me know what you think, type of deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm really happy with my Discord videos, because I enjoyed making it, it was fun recording, editing, all of it, and everybody really likes it. So, it's nice to have a following, and it's nice to get feedback, mainly that's my whole thing, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna wrap that one up there. I don't
Alright.
think that was too bad for a first episode.
No, I
No.
think we got a bunch of questions answered. We'll be taking other questions as well over time.
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot of. If you guys want to ask us questions, you can leave them in the comments. I can set up a Twitter page for you guys to go and follow.
We have a Discord as well as
Yeah.
That would probably be like really good place to do it as well, just because we use Discord to record these things. So
Yeah.
having that open as well, like a feed directly to us, that would probably be the best way to do that.
Yeah, just come join the Discord server. There will be links to all that stuff in the description below. I will leave a link to all of our channels down below.
I think
Come
we
check
also
out-
do also have social medias like Instagrams and stuff too, if you want to check those out.
Yeah, but you can find those individually on each of our channels and stuff like that. I'll leave a link to my channel down below. Come sub to me. Come check this out. Come check out mine and Brendan's Doki playthrough. Go check out Brendan's ship posts and go check out Wolf's
Just random.
Wolf's gaming videos. Yeah, we'll just go with gaming.
All right.
But yeah, we got all that stuff down below. So come check us out. Do you guys have anything you would like to say?
Nope.
You no? Well, have your pets bathed and neutered.
Yeah.
Have your pets bathe in nudity? What?
No,
No,
neutered.
Oh, have your pets.
Get your pets bathed and neutered.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna leave it there. Thanks
Yeah.
for watching, everybody. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.